Good afternoon, friends. Welcome, one and all. It's another episode of Magic Universe with Sharonah, and I'm so happy that you are joining me here today. Just to let you know, this little radio show is all about awakening and embracing your interpersonal power and self-confidence, as well as shining your light and creating magic and miracles in all areas of your life. Simply by using a little bit of help from maybe your angels, your ancestors and spirit guides, and maybe yourself in a past incarnation. Who knows? But mostly using the divine and loving conscious energy of the magic universe that we are each a part of. So, are you ready? Are you ready to live your magic? Are you ready to be who you really are? Then you are going to want to join me. During this hour, I'm going to invite you to step into your power and awaken your true magic. So why don't you grab yourself a cup of tea and settle in, because I know this is going to be a fun and magical hour. I'm Sharonah, and I am the host of Magic Universe here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. I'm a tarot reader, I'm a teacher and a scholar, and an angel Reiki master, and a spiritual life and business coach, and a teacher of the magical and intuitive arts. And I love using such tools as tarot, astrology, numerology, and much, much more. I use this to help me and my dear friends manifest the life of our dreams. What is your dream, my listeners? Is there something that you yearn to create? You see, I'm following my dreams. Besides this little radio show and my teaching and my coaching, I'm also an artist and a designer and writer. And right now I am finishing up creating the Boho Pixie Tarot and its companion guidebook, The Little White Dog, where I share my revolutionary system for reading tarot that will have you interpreting tarot faster than you can say pixie, all by following your own little white dog. And I'm coming to you live today from the Big Apple, New York City, where it's a rainy day. And right now the moon is void, of course, as it moves from Capricorn into Aquarius. So it will enter Aquarius at 7:29 p.m. Eastern. So that will be a good time if you want to set some goals, do some humanitarian work, do some creative stuff, as well as it's a good time for looking into social justice and discussions about making the future better for all of us. Now, to tell you a little something about the show, it is a live call-in radio show. And here we talk about such topics as angels, energy healing, tarot and oracle cards, astrology, synchronicity, but mostly about how you can embrace your own personal magic, how to raise your energy so that you have good high vibrations. Because once you're there, you can create and generate and attract more love and magic into your life. And I also love introducing you to great people in our tarot and metaphysical community. And today I'm so excited. We have a really special guest, Patrick Valenza. And we are going to be talking about the wonderful cards that he has created. So before we get started with our interview, I want to just make sure that you know that this is a live call-in show. So after the interview, if you'd like to have a mini reading or contribute to the conversation that we're having today, the phone number is 714-816-4628. Now that's just to listen. If you do want to be live on the air, you need to press the number 1 on the phone keypad, and that will let me know that you want me to take your call. And I do take the calls in the order they are received, so, don't hang up. Lose your spot in line if you do that. And you can also join us in the chat room. And let me let you know how to do that. If you go to the tarotguild.com/chat, that will direct you over to the chat room that we have over on YouTube. And want to let you know that after the show, if you want to check out the tarotguild.com, our main sponsor, you will learn more about the Tarot Guild, the wonderful folks that are there, and all the wonderful free workshops that we offer. And of course, our other sponsor is the Psychic Talk Radio Network, which is the one and only radio network with spirit. And you go there, you go to psychictalk.net, and you'll find out more about our upcoming radio shows, our hosts, as well as the online courses that we offer at Psychic Guild. So do check out my course, the Certified Angel Reiki Practitioner course, which is the only course where you can get certified online as both a Usui Reiki Master and an Angel Reiki Master. So when I'm not here on the air waves, remember you can always reach me at Sharonah at PsychicTalk.net. Okay, so let's get ready to rock and roll. Today we have a really special guest. We have Patrick Valenza. He is the artist and the creator of the Deviant Moon Tarot, which you probably already know about, and as well as the Mildred Payne Oracle Collection, the Triomphie della Luna Marseille Tarot, and he is the author of one of my favorite coffee table art books, the beautiful Deviant Moon Tarot, which is published by U.S. Games. And he has a brand new Oracle deck out, which we're going to be talking about, the Zammer Twins Oracle cards deck. And he's also the creator of a most enchanting world where you can commit yourself as an inmate of the Fenwood Asylum. So without further ado, welcome Patrick Valenza.
Hi, Sharon.
Welcome. Hi, I'm so happy to have you here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
It's a real thrill.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. I know we're going to be talking about your brand new Oracle deck, the Zammer Twins Oracle deck, but let's talk first a little bit about in case people aren't familiar with it, the Deviant Tarot, Deviant Moon Tarot, your first publication, and what inspired you to create it, and how did you get into tarot?
Oh, wow. Oh, that's some story. That goes all the way back to about 1975 when I was eight or 9 years old. I'm not sure exactly when in the year this happened. I was at the Roosevelt Field Mall here on Long Island. Used to have an area, an annex that was a little bit Tudor and medieval in style. It's since long gone. It was a really cool place to walk around, and it gave you a nice old enchanted feeling. And at the back of that mall one day, we were taking a walk with my parents, and there in one of the stores was a whole display of these cool little boxes that I had no idea what they were. There were pictures of court jesters on them, the skeleton of death. They were tarot cards. I had no idea what they were, but I just stood in that aisle and was handling all of them, just studying them. And when we went home, I begged my parents to take me back and get me a tarot deck. And it took about 2 weeks of convincing my parents, to see, they wondered why an 8 or 9 year old would want a tarot deck, but I was determined. They finally took me back to that mall. I got my first deck. It was the JJ Swiss deck. Took it out of the store. I eagerly unwrapped it, and when I opened it, to my disappointment, it was in French. And the reason I was disappointed was I was really interested in studying everything I could about them, and I didn't understand French, so we went and returned it, and we picked up the Tarot Classic, which the artwork wasn't as good as the original, but at least it was in English, and I could start studying it from there. After that, I used to bring them to school. I used to give little fortunes to my classmates. All my friends were drawing Spider-Man and Superman, and I was drawing my own version of the Fool and the Devil and Death, and coming up with my own worlds. And that's pretty much how that love affair with tarot started, and it's never stopped.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow. You must have had cool parents to get you a tarot deck. You must have been a really cool kid.
I was very persuasive. I got them to get me. I like to draw as a kid, and I like to create stories. So for me, I just fell in love with the story magic that was in the imagery of the tarot, especially the older medieval and historical type decks.
That's really awesome. So you were reading them, and you were even as a young kid, you were creating a tarot deck.
Oh yeah, I had several decks that I created in elementary school. Only a couple of papers actually survived. And then when I was about 15, I started what would become the Deviant Moon. I did 13 hand-painted cards over the course of about 2 or 3 years until my style changed, and I kind of abandoned the project. But the first original 13 cards were pretty large. They were hand-painted on really thick archival papers, and I still have them, although I lost them for over almost 20 years. I had lost them, and they were tucked inside of a book that I found years and years later. And that inspired me to restart the deck in 2004. I was getting older, and I hadn't really done anything with my artwork. Everything that I would draw or come up with was really for me. I would create it, put it in the closet, move on to the next project, put that one in the closet, and so I had a big buildup of ideas, and I really wanted to get that tarot deck out. It was eating me alive for nearly 30 years. So in 2004, I started it up again, and I created a few cards. They were actually remastered from the cards I did as a teenager. And then I submitted them to U.S. Games, and surprise, surprise, I got a contract from them, and it went on to take a life of its own that I really didn't even expect to get a contract when I submitted to U.S. Games. It was just, hey, here's an address, let's send them in, let's see what happens, and the rest just turned into a whole thing after that.
Wow. So it was like the Deviant Moon Tarot was like 30 years in the making, but it was always there, ready to come to life. Wow. And you also, I know from U.S. Games, you have a beautiful coffee table. I would call it a coffee table book of the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I love this book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That took 3 years to make. U.S. Games came to me in 2010, and there was a lot of interest out there for a book because I had so many stories, about the creation of the deck. And so I literally told them, yeah, sure, no problem. It'll take me about 3 months to do it. And it took 3 years to create that book. I mean, that was as much work to do as the Deviant Moon itself, to put that deck together. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of fun. But wow, I really appreciate the work that writers do when they come up with books. I mean, that was hard, but I'm glad it's out there. And it became a 5-pound monster. It's gigantic.
Yeah, it's quite a book, but it's like wherever, when you open it up, I love how, it's just, I love the story of your lifelong journey, the pictures of you as a little kid working in your pajamas at your drawing
Yeah.
table, and all the little stories in there of how, you know, you used to visit graveyards and leave gifts for the keepers of the for the graveyard. I mean, it's just a wonderful story. And then you created this whole world, the Fenwood Asylum, which we all want to become inmates of. Tell us a little bit about that. That's so cool.
Oh, the Fenwood Asylum is actually in a way, it's a real place. When I was a kid, I lived in these apartments, and it was the creepiest place you ever want to imagine. People would say it was haunted. Used to hear strange sounds from the apartment below us that was empty, and just looking out the gloomy windows and looking out, in the courtyard, it was something like from a Nosferatu movie. It was really a creepy place, and it was they were called Fenwood Gardens. So in that room in Fenwood Gardens, as a kid, I used to be in my pajamas. I'd be creating in the middle of the night with a flashlight, just drawing and coming up with stories and plays all night long. Pretty much my whole childhood. That's what I did. I would play with toys and then create stories about the adventures. And so that Fenwood Asylum is really, in a way, a true place. And what's interesting is there's an editor at U.S. Games. I was talking with her years later, and it turns out she actually lived in those apartments when she was, I believe, newly married. I'm not sure. But as a younger adult, she lived in those apartments too. And she testified how creepy that place was. And it was nice to meet a kindred spirit who actually knew what Fenwood was.
Wow. But there was nearby, right, a famous New York asylum, the Pilgrim Asylum, right? So
Right.
you could see that. So
Oh, yeah.
vibes
That was the
coming out from there.
The Pilgrim Asylum, we're out in Suffolk County. There were 3 or 4 asylums at the same time, in close proximity to each other. And when you would drive by, you would see the smokestacks of the power plants and creepy things at night, from the distance. And it looked exactly like the apartments that I lived in. Same brick style, old from the 30s and 40s architecture. So it kind of became a mesh of the two worlds, the Fenwood apartments that I lived in and the insane asylum that my mother used to tell me was called Boogeyman Island. So that's all I needed to hear as a child, Boogeyman Island. My imagination went crazy, what goes on there at night. And that evolved into aspects of the Deviant Moon and their citizens and the world that they inhabit. And all of those things just meshed together in a special formula and are just coming out now in adulthood like crazy. Like I can't even stop the flow of ideas that have been built up for the last 50 years almost.
Wow. What a great place to grow up. And, I love how one of the themes of the Deviant Moon is you confront your nightmares and you look under the bed and you turn the whatever you call them. I don't want to call them monsters because I find I love your characters, these like quirky kinds of characters that are really kind of cute. You turn them into friends, and that's so cool.
The story behind that was when I at the time when I found tarot was a really interesting time for me. Living in that apartment, discovering tarot. There was a lot of I guess like supernatural movies in the theaters. This was 1975. My friends were all doing seances, so it was like a creepy time anyway. And I used to have really, really vivid night terror nightmares as a kid. I mean, like crazy, insane hallucinations situations I would see things, and I thought, they're real or haunted or being visited. And then I just stopped being afraid of it. And one night I actually got out of my bed, flipped on the light, and was like ready to look under the bed. Let's see what's in that closet. I had enough, and I wanted to just confront it. There was nothing there, and ever since then I've never had a nightmare. And I actually want one. I want to have like a cool nighttime experience, something really interesting. Maybe I could write about it or come up with an idea influenced by it. But I've had nothing, not one single bad dream since that time. I go to sleep and that's it. Just dream about regular mundane things. Nothing interesting anymore, unfortunately for me.
Wow. Yeah, everyone, they should, if you don't have it, you definitely want to get a copy of the book, The Deviant Moon Tarot. I mean, it's really great because, one, I love how you explain your creative process of how, as an artist, you're inspired not only by the meaning of the cards, but, you take into consideration so many different sources. I mean, it's beautifully written too. You're a really good writer. You're a good artist, and you're a really good writer.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's amazing, and I love the stories of how you talk about your childhood, and even as you or grow older into an adult, how you're inspired by your family even now. I mean, you must be a really cool daddy. So much
I think
fun.
the kids here are used to it. They're totally used to it. My house has become a museum of artifacts and pretty strange things hanging around, and they've seen it since they're little. My oldest is almost 30 now, and it's like nothing. It's like flower wallpaper. They don't even notice it anymore. They just walk by it, and they're kind of used to it.
That's great. Are your children artists too? Are they into tarot? May I ask?
No, nothing like that. My son likes to draw, but nothing, professional or ambition wise. But no, nothing like that. Nobody in my family either.
Well, you just keep drawing. I'm laughing because I never realized. I'm looking at the picture of you in your pajamas as a little kid, creating stuff. And then I'm looking at the full card, and he's in his pajamas, getting ready to go on his little journey. So, I mean, there's just everything, comes together, so beautiful in your creative process. And how did you come up with the name Deviant Moon? I know a lot of the characters, they're moon face, but I love that, the Deviant Moon. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Well, thank you. Actually, when I created the deck as a teenager, I had no title for it. In 2004, when I remastered the deck, I had finished the major arcana, and I had no name for the deck at all. And I had obtained U.S. Games submission information, their address, and I was about to send it out, and I still had no name for this deck. And out of nowhere, literally taking a walk, Deviant Moon just came into my head out of the clear blue. It was like somebody whispered it. It was perfect. I said, that name has to be somewhere. So I Googled it every which way backwards, and there was no combination of Deviant Moon. And I said, that's it. That's the name of the deck. And then now that the deck had a title, the moon faces became more prevalent in the minor arcana as I went to progress and complete them, because I had submitted the Deviant Moon to U.S. games when I only had the 22 majors. So the name then influenced the rest of the deck, and the people in the minor arcana became more moon-faced and just took on that personality, and it just worked out perfectly. But it literally came out of nowhere, which was really interesting, which happens to me a lot when I'm not working, just taking a walk or getting away or doing something totally different. It's like the background of my head is working overtime, although I'm not aware of it. And then every once in a while, it'll spit out a name, an idea, an image. And actually, that's how most of that deck came about. Like, I don't have to think about it too much. You just put the information in your head, let it circulate, and then maybe in a day or two, the answer will just pop out.
Wow. And that's not the only deck that you've created. I know you have the, I'm probably butchering the name, the Trionfi della Luna, which is a Mercedes deck. How quickly did that come after the Deviant Moon? And then we also have to talk about my favorite, Mildred Payne. I mean, when did those decks and characters appear?
The Trionfi della Luna came. I always wanted to do kind of a antique, historical, more organic type of deck, and that one took. That one came out in 2016, I think. Can't remember. What happens is I'll do a card here, I'll get inspired, and then I'll leave it alone, and then a year later I'll get more ideas. So I'm actually working on several decks at the same time. It's just when I get a piece of the puzzle, it'll fill that gap or fill this gap or fill that gap. But I always wanted to do a historical type of deck. And the Trionfi della Luna had some ideas that I didn't use for the Deviant Moon that I was able to incorporate into that deck. And I consider that a cousin to the Deviant Moon. The Deviant Moon also has an Oracle that's coming out through U.S. games. I hope to be finished with that in a couple of months, maybe. And then there's a sister to the Deviant Moon, which is based on the Sun, which at this time I don't have a title for, but that'll also be coming through U.S. games. And then there were the Mildred Payne collection came out. That was based on the story that I had about a little girl who was psychic and maybe was considered a little bit of a witch. And then, then I had the Zammer Twins. I had several decks. I have a deck called the Abandoned Oracle, which was an Oracle deck that I started and then I lost interest in, and I took a few of those cards and I turned those into Deviant Moon Oracle cards, but then I went back to the Abandoned Oracle and I finished that, hence the name Abandoned, because I abandoned it and came back. And I'm always flip-flopping through decks right now. Just if you look at my whiteboard, I have several decks on there, almost a dozen decks that I'm working on at the same time.
Wow. And tell us a little bit about Mildred Payne. Wow. I mean, I want to see a movie of that.
Yeah,
or a cartoon. I mean, it's
coming.
like, yeah, that's coming.
Mildred
wow.
Payne is definitely coming. Working on that right now. Very, very early stages.
Wow.
There's a book that I am working on about her too. Format is still coming, but there will definitely be more than just an oracle with her. And that's based on two characters. That's based on my grandmother, believe it or not, as a kid, and my sister, who was very mischievous. So those two characters were definitely the influence for Mildred Payne. And those personalities and those spirits of those two people are definitely reflected in her personality.
Oh, that's so cool. And I know that you originally wanted to do children's books. Will that be a children's book or, well, I read children's books and I'm very grown up, but will that be a children's book or will that be, who's the audience going to be for that book?
Um, Definitely not a children's book, but a very interesting story. I, I I pretty much don't write for an audience. I kind of just write or come up with what comes out, and then whoever is into that will find it on their own. So I'm not really like targeting anybody. Um, I did want to do children's books. I actually have a contract with U.S. Kane's imprint company to do a couple children's books that I started and then got sidetracked and bounced from one project to another. But I still have some stuff coming out with them in the near future. It's a lot different than what I've been doing, but it has the same kind of personality in terms of quirkiness and strange little creatures running around. So it's almost like Deviant Moon Light kind of thing.
Like that. I like that. Now, your newest creation is the Zammer Twins Oracle. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, the Zammer Twins came to me as an idea where I wanted to do a historical deck that really looked historical, looked old, and I didn't want it to look like I created it. It had to be totally different style. So I started to work on the deck last year, and I got about, I don't know, a dozen or so cards done, maybe more, and it was looking too much like my other deck, the Triunfa de la Luna. I mean, you could totally see my style in there, and that wasn't working for me. I really wanted something different. I don't want any of my decks to look the same. They have to be different. Sometimes when people make multiple decks, I can't really tell which is which. They all kind of mesh together. I wanted mine to be totally different. This one had to look like it wasn't coming from me. So I remastered that deck. I took the images that I already did, and then I tried different style. I tried to get it to look like an engraving style from the 1700s, different kinds of filters, different kinds of techniques that I had to learn to put things together. I tried to make it not surreal, not I guess strange. I wanted a more of a human quality to it. So I had to get into my digital painting mode and really work on that. And that was really, really hard. I created it the same way I did with the Deviant Moon, where I took a lot of photographs that I took, textures. I manipulated those textures, added all kinds of filters, played with it, and then just put that thing together and really tried to make it look like it wasn't from me. Although, of course, the style and my hand approach still shows through it, but it's not like the other decks. It's a little bit different, more humanistic, and it's made by the Zammers, the two conjoined twins.
Awesome. Awesome. And that's an Oracle deck, correct? And are you going to be doing a tarot deck too that with them, or we don't know, to be continued?
I've got a lot of requests to do a Zammer Twins Oracle, a tarot deck, but something else came up, a different tarot deck came up. It's called the Cannular Tarot Deck of 1749, and that has a whole different story. And this one really, really looks old and authentic, even more so than the Zammer Twins deck, and it has a whole different storyline. And I have a couple cards that I have to reveal for that one too. And then I might be done with tarot decks for a while, although there is Mildred Payne's mother's tarot deck, the Tarot of Black Enchantment, which I also have cards done for that. So, like I said, I have so many decks going at the same time. I do chase a lot of rabbits at the same time, but it's just the way my head works. It just switches one day to the next, whatever I'm into. This way I can give it my full attention. If I do a couple cards from one deck one week and then move to another one, I never skip a beat and I never get bored. So I have a lot of different decks coming out.
Wow. Wow. Well, I love what you do. I know everyone else does. And where can people follow you at? You have a website, I know.
deviantmoon.com, or we're on Facebook too, and Instagram, Deviant Moon Inc. And I pretty much stay in those locations. If I spread out too much, it's kind of hard to manage, so I kind of stay a little tight there.
Yeah, I hear you. And I know that you have a newsletter, and I love it says if you want to, if you want to commit yourself to the Fenwood Asylum. I love that. That's really delicious.
You. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh my. We could go on for hours. And one thing I always, when I do my shows, I always ask people, how they bring love and magic into your life. Well, we know how you do that. But what do you feel makes your practice with the tarot unique, and how has it affected you?
Oh, it totally changed my life. I wouldn't be who I was without the tarot. Like I said, it started as a kid. It was a love affair for 30 plus. Oh God, it's almost 40 years now. I keep saying 30, but it's almost 40. It affected me in every way. It helped me see the world in a certain way too. It helped me to appreciate history and to do research and to study, interesting topics, and to story build, and endless amount of influence the tarot had on me. And I think I bring that in through my decks. It's an authenticity. I didn't just wake up one day and say, oh wow, it would be great to make a tarot deck, and then realize I have to do almost 80 illustrations. It's a gigantic commitment, a gigantic body of work, and I don't think you can really get through that much labor if you don't love it and you're really not inspired by what you do, and especially for multiple decks. I mean, I just love to do it. I love bringing what I have inside of me out and sharing it. And if somebody can relate to that, that's what it's all about,
Well, I mean, you are a genius. You know that. I mean, what you do is really amazing. And
thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just, I think one of the things that I always hear about the Deviant Moon Tarot and your other decks is that this is the perfect tarot deck for the world that we're in today.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of, kind of quirky, kind of dark, but, full of so much light and, good vibrations. And, you feel such, love for the, the characters that you meet within your deck, and we're all kind of like quirky and dark right now. And that's cool.
Right.
It's, I love, I love, particularly this time of year as we're moving into, as they say, the dark half of the year. But I don't like to use the word dark because there is just so much light there too,
Right.
and that's what's so fun with the characters. They have, they have moon faces, so they have the light side of the moon and the dark side of the moon. I just love it. I just love it. And please keep on creating. I can't wait to see and, hear and learn more about what you're doing, because, wow, you're great.
Thank you so much, Sharonah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And urge everyone to run out. Definitely get one of Patrick's decks. Get the book. You will be filled with so much joy and fun. And wow, we have to have you come back again. Wow, I'll keep gushing over everything. Do you have a favorite card? Or is it like you're like a father? You can't say which one is your favorite card, but I always
Favorite
was wondering.
card. In general,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying favorite card? It was
And
always
we'll
the
go with the
Devil, Death,
Deviant
and the
Moon.
Fool.
Yeah.
The Devil, the Death, and the Fool were always my favorite characters to draw as a kid. And whenever I start a deck, I always start with those three to see if I'm gonna like what comes next. Those are like the standards: Devil, Death, and Fool. Always those three for me.
I love those too, and I love your death card. You don't even put on their death. You just there's no title on it, and
Oh no, yeah,
but
that comes from old traditions in tarot. It was superstitions. They never put the death, the name. You didn't want to call it into reality. So following old traditions, I always leave the name out of death. Just card 13.
amazing. So, listeners, if you want to find out more about Patrick Valenza and all the wonderful things that he does, be sure to go to deviantmoon.com and join the asylum.
Thank you, Sharonah. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much. I mean, my goodness, I don't want it to end, but I'm going to be running out of tape. So thank
Uh-oh.
you, thank you. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today.
Thank you very, very much. It was great.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Okay, folks, we are way past the bottom of the hour. So I need to let you know what's going on here on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. So our next show will be on Friday, September the 29th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. You got to if you want to do it live, you got to figure out what that time is by you because we go out all over the world. And we have a wonderful program with the wonderful host, Catherine Hahn. It's Compassionate Light Radio. And she's going to be talking about the attitude of gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is so important. And then the next day, Saturday, September 30th, it will be the monthly Psychic Spin segment with Mary Brown and Dax Carlisle. And the name of that show is Tarot Today Live. And they also do free readings, and you're going to want to tune into that. And then I got to let you know when I'll be back on the air again. It's always usually 2 weeks. So I'll be back on Sunday, October 8th. Same time, same channel. And I am going to be doing tarot messages from heaven. So it's all about, contacting your spirit guides, your ancestors, and your loved ones. This is so important as we approach Halloween or Samhain. The veil between our worlds becomes really thin, and it makes it the perfect time for using tarot along with mediumship. So you want to mark that in your calendar to call in and try to get a reading with me where I can do tarot and mediumship, where you can contact your ancestors or spirit guides or loved ones. Okay. Oh my goodness. We need to take some phone calls. So there's a lot of you that have called in. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of do them in order. People have been waiting. So I'm going to area code 205. What is your name and where are you calling from? Area code 205. Hello. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for taking the call. My name is Patricia, and I'm calling from Alabama. And I sort of have a lot going on. I didn't know which way to go with the question, so I'll just ask my spirit guide if, or spirit, if there is anything significant that I need to know or do when it comes to everything that's going on around me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So, for spirit guide reading, we definitely have someone who's coming through, and what I'm getting is something new and exciting is coming to your career and your work, and you have it's like a new path is going to be opening up for you, and you might feel a little, insecure about taking it on, but it's saying you can do it. And they're saying the message that's coming through really loud and clear is to decide. You're going to be in the coming days, in coming weeks. It's going to be a time to make a decision, okay? And you need to decide. You don't want to stay on the fence about it. Just choose with your heart and pick whatever it is that is perfect for your spiritual path. Channel all that wonderful energy that you have. Get ready to make a decision, to learn. It's going to be an opportunity to learn and grow. And that came through really loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Many blessings.
My pleasure. Thank you. Love you. Many blessings.
Love you too. Blessings.
Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to go to area code 256. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello.
Hello. This is Kimberly. I'm calling from Georgia.
Hey, Kimberly. I love you, Kimberly. We've talked before.
Yes.
What can we do? What can my magical cards do for you today?
Well, my question is about a work situation. Since about 2017, I've been so I'm a teacher, so I've been working, and there's been instances where I have to go to HR or another entity like the state entity where I have to report for harassment or discrimination. This past year, I finally had to go to a federal agency, the EEOC. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be an activist for teachers, but I just want to know more than anything how this investigation is going to go.
Okay. Well, I definitely see that there's a lot going on, with your work. And I'm getting that beyond your work, your passions are going to lead you, in addition to what you're currently doing, to your divine life purpose, okay? That's why you're here. And what it's telling you is, you have a lot of gifts to share with the world, okay? And this is the time to get in touch with your inner, the inner you, your higher self, to nurture your vision and share your vision. And, this is the time. And even if you don't feel ready to step into this role, it says that you can probably, there's like a mentor or a helper that's going to help you with this, or there's classes that you can take that are going to help you step into this leadership role. I see you becoming like a leader, and you do have a lot of spirit energy around you, and there is spirit that's speaking to you, someone from your past who is sending you loving signs through nature. You might see a butterfly around you, or a flower, or a feather. I mean, you're not alone in this mission. You have a guide from the opposite side. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're ready to be a leader. You're ready to be a leader, step into that role. You're here for a reason and a higher purpose. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Love you.
Love you too. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, I got someone, area code 770. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello? I hear noise in the background, no one there. So what I'm going to do is put you back in the line and I'm going to go now to area code 904. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
Hi, this is Tracy.
Hi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida.
Florida, yeah. I always kind of look at a map of the world and try to see where everyone's calling from. What can I do for you today? Do you want me to draw some cards for you? Is there something in particular?
You can draw some cards, please. Thank you.
Okay. So what I'm getting is it's interesting. Everyone's getting cards about making a decision. So what I'm getting is there is an important decision that you've been putting off, and you're not sure which choice to make. And what I'm getting is you will, you can, once again, you can do it. I mean, you can, I'm getting, interesting, I'm getting, seeing you as being, you shouldn't be afraid to make this decision, okay? If you need to, you can ask your guides for help and guidance. But what I'm getting is that there's great success that's coming for you around the corner. And, everything runs in cycles and the wheel is turning. And this is something where it's a new pathway where you can succeed, something that you can celebrate and understand why you have been on this journey.
Okay.
So make that decision. I'll just kind of maybe pull another card for you. Yeah, it says the situation. What I'm getting is there have been challenges, and also there's someone that can help you with this, someone who's generous and kind and that you can depend upon. I am getting that this person is probably, you've been dreaming about this person, so you can contact them in your dreams. So it's someone in the spirit world. You've dreamed about them and you're connected, that can help you with whatever you need to do.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in. Love you so much.
Thanks. You too.
You're welcome. Okay, let me see if I can fit in some more calls. Okay, area code 603. What is your name and where are you calling in from?
Thank you for taking my
Hello?
call. Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. My name is Dion, and I'm in North Carolina.
Okay, I can see you on the map. What can I do for you today?
Okay, so I just got an offer. Somebody's gonna help me run down to Florida and grab my stuff out of storage. But it's gonna be a little bit of a team effort to get things going. I just wanted to see if you saw that being successful. We're trying to do it as fast as we can so I could just eliminate that bill and everything else. Just wondering how you see that going for me.
I definitely see you going to someplace, could be Florida, where there's a beach. And also, while you're doing that, it's going to give you an opportunity to kind of, feel better, charge your batteries, and connect with yourself. And, I see you taking a stroll there. Doing this is going to help you generate a lot of fresh and innovative ideas. And I see birds and trees and stuff. But also when you do it, it'll give you an opportunity to unplug from the internet. But yeah, that sounds that I definitely see that as being the perfect thing that you need to do. But make sure when you do it that you unplug from the internet, and you're going to come back with a lot of really good ideas. You're going to feel like their turning point is happening in your life.
Great.
Also, I also see like a current relationship becoming stronger. So that's what I have
my
for
friendship,
you.
or?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good thing. It's a good time. Thank you for calling in.
Thank
you. My pleasure. Okay. Oh my goodness, what time is it? I gotta start wrapping everything up. I'm gonna go to area code 646. What is your name and where are you calling in from?
Hi,
Hi
thanks
there.
for taking my call. Hello, my name is Miranda. I'm calling from New York.
Hi, New York.
Hi. Yeah, so my husband is in the process of interviewing for a position. And I'm wondering whether you think it will go through or something else. What do you see around that?
Okay, so this is a friend who's going to be interviewing for a position.
And it's my husband.
Okay,
actually.
Okay. Well, what I'm getting is one of his concerns is around that, that it's going to be enough money, and security and everything. And I'm getting that it's going to be, if that's a concern about money, it's going to be all right there. It's going to be a good offer. And what I'm getting that it's time to step up. And I'm getting all these cards about leadership. This is a good thing, an opportunity to shine. So if the fear was about money and security, not to worry about that. That's not going to, not to be a concern. And this is going to be a great opportunity. He's for, him to walk away from like something that he felt restricted in, and just move on to like calmer waters and go for it.
But do you see him getting it? Because there are obviously other people involved that they're shortlisting. And he wasn't actually concerned about money. I think he knew that, it would pay what he's looking for. I guess just wondering whether you see him actually getting it and whether it would be a good fit. Like would he be happy there? Is I guess my main concern. If he was offered the position, would he be happy? So seems like you're getting a lot of leadership cards, but I'm not clear whether it's meant for this job or something else, because that is a quality he possesses. So even if it wasn't here, he could still have that, display that quality elsewhere. So you know.
Okay, well, what I'm yeah, I'm getting that he needs to listen to his body, and, how he feels about this. I mean, because that's like one of your intuitive channels. And I don't know, like where he's worked at before, I think he worked too hard. He took on a lot of burdens. Yeah. And this is going to be an opportunity if this comes through where it'll kind of lighten the load. He doesn't feel so burdened down. And I just think it if he gets that offer, let me just see if I can
that's
yes or no.
Do you think he will get it? That's the key. Like, do you think he will be offered the position, or will it go to someone else? Mm-hmm.
I'm getting that what he has to do, to stay in touch with the potential thing, be very interested in getting more information. They like that for him to be saying, I need more information about this, and the one thing that's going to be interesting is this is going to be kind of a new direction for him. And not to hesitate. I think this is the time is right. So it looks like he's going to get an offer, but he has to, be very present. He has to be not afraid to ask them questions and talk to them. Like, I want to find out more. Don't be afraid to do that. To find out more about the job, what is entailed. Because I think in the past, there's been other jobs where he might have had, been taken advantage of, and too much burdens were put on his shoulder, and that wasn't good. And, just the main thing is, he needs to ask for the job, but just to make sure, find out if it's exactly, don't let them choose. Make it seem like he's the one who is in control and is asking for the job.
If he's offered the position, he will definitely look further and dig deep, because he's just like that. He needs to know what he's getting into, all right. So you think it's positive that he will be offered the position, huh?
Yeah, I'm getting that it's worth the risk, and when he says yes, he can fly, and he has nothing to lose by looking into this job, but just get lots of information from the people, like really, be in control. Don't let them be the ones that are controlling the situation.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Love you so much.
Take care.
Okay. I'm going to go to area code 352. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hi.
Hello? Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Florida.
Yes. And where are you calling? Florida. Florida is in the house.
Yes, it is.
How can I help you today? How can I help you today?
I'm the one that was writing you under Cloud Siren. I believe I might be channeling Jesus. And there are things going on in this world that needs to be changed. And the Bible has been misinterpreted. I have getting pictures of ghosts everywhere around me that I post on YouTube. I'm about to start a podcast. I do tarot cards. Been a psych nurse for over 51 years. And almost every psychic channel I go to is some sort of message from my family. There are souls stuck in purgatory because they are looking for gods and Jesuses that we were never supposed to put faces to. People are taught not to talk to their souls, their lost ones, to let time pass by, and they're still here. The hurricanes and all this other stuff going on is because our negative vibrations around the world. And superconsciousness is actually meant to change it. And when we lose our body, our physical body, we cannot talk. And if they're not talked to, they use their intuition and to follow what we're taught not to use anymore, they're stuck in purgatory. So we have energy, right? Energy exists forever. There is no heaven, hell, earth. It's all in the same place. They're in the void. They are lost. There are many, many people, and tarot card readers, psychic mediums are meant to help them cross over. It's not supposed to be a scary thing. It's supposed to be a joyous occasion, and the world's made money on putting chemicals into the world and putting coffins into the body, into the ground. I'm just one person, but I'm about to start a podcast. I've been researching this for a long, long time. When I read the Bible, and I am not a Bible thumper, our Father's art in heaven. Art is heaven. Art, study of science and laughter and music and dance. The thought that our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed is our name. We hallow our name. Thy kingdom comes, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because it's all on the same plane. Forgive us our day, our daily bread. Sorry, I'm outside.
Well, I'm getting that. Yeah, I'm getting that you're definitely a helper, and you have a mission. And it's funny, you were talking about getting a card that's saying that food is really important. We need to eat nourishing foods, to eat healthy foods and take care of ourselves, and to believe. I got the unicorn part, believe. And it says, the world needs to know. There is magic all around us, okay? And we have to open ourselves up to the wonders of the universe. There are connections and synchronicities out there, and we just have to, know that we're here at the right time. There's a reason that we're born into this lifetime, each one of us, and we're here. And we're here. We're here. This is an important time. We're here to elevate the energy and the vibrations of the planet, to tell the truth, and move forward. And good days are coming. And I'm so glad you're here. You're here on the mission with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. Love you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, everyone. We are at the end of our show, and I could keep on going. So I just want to let you know we're running out of time. So I will be back again on Sunday, October the 8th, and that's going to be, I won't have a special guest. It's just going to be me, and I'm going to be talking about how this time of year, the veil between the worlds is very, very thin. So it's a perfect time for us to do mediumship. So I'm going to be doing tarot messages from heaven. So I'll be able to give you messages from your spirit guides, your ancestors, and your loved ones. This is the perfect time. So you'll be able to call in for some free tarot readings combined with mediumship. And as I said, we're running out of time, so I just want to make sure that you know that this is your magic mama, Sharonah. And I do want to leave you with a couple of magic words, okay? One of them, well, two of them are thank you. No matter what happens all the time around you as the world evolves, just keep saying thank you, okay? Because a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. And, I just want to thank every one of you for tuning in today. I want to thank our special guest, Patrick Valenza. Wasn't he wonderful? And I want to thank each one of you, my readers, my dear friends in this magical community that we have here today. And I want to let you know that if no one told you this, you are loved and you are enough, just the way you are. And this world would not be the same without each one of you. You know that you are perfect and you're absolutely essential to this web of life that we are all part of. So I want you to, until we meet again, keep shining that light of yours. And don't forget, you can talk to the great universe because it's got your back. So make sure that you keep your energy and your vibrations high. And I do invite you to step into your power because you are magical. So until we meet again, which will be on Sunday, October the 8th, please step into your magic. Please shine your light. Dear friends, I love you all. I love you, Patrick Valenza. So glad you were my guest. Hey, I love you, Mildred Payne, too. And thank you, everyone. So glad that we had this hour together.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.